Based on Acquity Group's research, how do you really see consumer buying habits really impacting B2B purchasing these days?
I think that industrial distributors have to recognize that behavior is, in fact, changing, largely influenced by the emergence of millennials into the marketplace. They have specific expectations about what that purchasing experience should look like and feel like. First and foremost, they're expecting a B2C-like experience. They're expecting sites that are easy to use, that they're comfortable with, that sort of look and feel like the experiences they have when they're engaged online and with a number of internet applications and websites that are very consumer oriented. They're expecting search boxes, sort of placed in the upper right-hand corner, and they're expecting them to work. They're expecting navigation down the left side that allows me to sort of filter through products. So there are specific B2C-like experiences and expectations that these buyers are bringing with them by way of, habit, essentially. So that's sort of one. Number two, we see that they are expecting to be able to engage in multiple channels with a supplier. So, for example, we have found that only about 37% of the actual shopping experience of a B2B buyer is done on the supplier's website. It's actually done, largely off the website. It's done through Google, or it's done through blogs, or it's done through social channels. So I think suppliers need to well recognize that they need to be represented in multiple channels for the shopping experience. So that's sort of number two. Number three is mobile. Mobile is increasingly used for purposes of shopping, and then in some cases for purposes of actual purchasing. Imagine for a moment that somebody is away from the desktop and looking, to shop or to buy, a particular product. Well, in that particular instance, mobile is clearly an emerging channel for this. They're looking for websites that are not just easy to use, but are fast and efficient. In fact, we find in our research that anywhere from 25 to almost 40% of actual purchasing experience on a supplier's website are abandoned by the buyer. That because the site loads too slow, or the content is not particularly robust and fresh, or it loads improperly, or the checkout process is confusing. It's not what they're used to when they buy on consumer-oriented sites, buying individually for themselves. So industrial distribution needs to recognize that there is an emergence of a new demographic, the millennial, that there are specific expectations about channels, speed, ease of use, and these are all represented clearly in the research that we've conducted. And probably the closer I'll say, and this is always an interesting conversation to have with an industrial distributor, and that is that only about 12% of actual potential buyers and shoppers in the B2B space actually want to talk to somebody. They would actually like to be able to conclude the entire process from beginning to end online. Many B2B distributors have large investments in field sales organizations, knocking on doors, looking for customers. Well, these customers actually don't want to talk to a salesman. Now, they may want to talk to somebody about how to solution for a specific challenge. They may be interested in chatting with somebody online about substitute products. So there is certainly an opportunity. But you do need to invest heavily in e-commerce, in content on your e-commerce sites, and ensure that those sites are fast and easy to use.